We have Miss Carrie Gottschalk, social media marketing expert, to give her opinion on how Facebook chatbots have personalized marketing and increased mobile conversation rates. Miss Carrie is a highly recognized influencer within the social media industry and has been at the forefront of social media revolution for 10 years, paid social media for 5 years, and has managed over $10 million in ad spend working with large clients, Sherry's Berries, hotels, and Fried Rothman. With her extensive experience in domestic and international markets, she is known as a skilled social media strategist, advertiser, and has also gained a strong understanding of digital performance matrices with a good portion of her experiences in e-commerce, direct response, and performance marketing. So with not further more delays, Miss Carrie, the stage is all yours.
Hi, how is everyone? I'm going to start. I'm going to share with you today how Facebook chatbots are personalizing marketing and increasing mobile conversion rates. This is a really fun, exciting new topic. Chatbots are new, they're hot, people are still figuring them out. So I first learned about chatbots a little over a year ago. I went to Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. It's a great conference. Some of the best marketers in the world are there. There's a lot of information on all the different social platforms, and one of the big new things were chatbots. So I went to a session by Molly Pittman. Molly Pittman works with Digital Marketer, and what she shared with us was something that's completely different. I'm a Facebook advertiser, and as an advertiser, we have options to run ads in the news feed. We can now run them on Instagram, and the chatbots were just an extension of the Facebook platform. And she was using these ads to sell tickets to her conference, Traffic and Conversion. The type of ad she was running on Facebook was called a paid messenger destination opt-in. And what that means is instead of clicking through to a website or on a Shop Now button on an ad, it said, send us a message. Once we sent Digital Marketer a message through the Facebook Messenger, we then got this message back that you can see the example of. So I sent him a message, got the message that said, get started. And from there it said, hey Carrie, thanks for connecting with us on Facebook Messenger. We're here to help. And it was informational, conversational. They weren't trying to sell me right away on that first message. But it was something new, and I was really excited, really curious. This was new technology, a new form of communication. I went home, did a little bit of research. I couldn't find too much, but then again, the next conference I went to was in San Jose, and it was the Facebook Developers Conference in May of 2017. Chatbots were a huge component of this conference again, but they were different. What I just showed you was on the laptop or on a desktop where it was a paid opt-in. Well, when we got to this Facebook Developers Conference in May, they had these poster boards everywhere that read, connect with the Messenger bot, let's chat about bots. And what you do is really interesting, is you'd get your mobile phone out and you go to your Facebook Messenger app. And within the app, at the bottom, instead of taking a photo, you would actually hold the screen down. And I can show this to you guys. It's really interesting. So you go to your Messenger, you have the camera, and instead of this photo button, I hope you guys can see this, you hold the screen, you see how you get this circle? So you use that circle then to scan that code on the poster board. As soon as you scan the code, it would pop open the Facebook Messenger app on your phone and say, welcome to F8. This was a new type of way, or a new kind of way of using the chatbot, which is really interesting, and it wasn't paid. So Molly was using it paid at her conference. Facebook had already paid for their advertising. We had already paid to attend the event for a conference ticket, but now that we were at the event, we were organically opting into their chatbot without a paid form of advertising. So come full circle, I kind of saw this used within 3 months of each other, 3 different ways. It was being used as an organic opt-in, it was used as a paid opt-in, and then it was also being used as a channel to communicate and sell tickets. Like any entrepreneur, the first thing I thought was, how do I do this myself? How do I learn how to do this? How do I replicate this? How can I take this to my clients? How can I make this of value? And for me, the strategy was easy. The concept was easy. I already understood Facebook advertising. The tough part for me was finding out how do you build one of these. So I went home and found a bunch of self-taught resources. Molly was talking about ManyChat, and that's primarily what I use. I don't work for them, I don't endorse them, but I'm going to talk about them quite a bit just because I think it's one of the easiest platforms. At the time, ManyChat only had a YouTube platform for learning, which was great. That's what I taught myself on a year ago. Luckily, though, for everyone listening to this, ManyChat recently just came out with a ManyChat mastery class. So you can go on there, you can go home right now, you can Google it, look it up, and you can take this full class, I think it's 30 to 40 hours, for free, and teach yourself how to use Messenger, or the Messenger chatbot. The other thing I started doing is I love to listen to podcasts. So I started listening to podcasts in my free time, and one of the top ones were Perpetual Traffic. That's a podcast that Digital Marketer puts out, and Molly Pittman is on it again. I love Molly again. Not a fangirl, I promise, but she's really smart and teaches really well. She talks on there on how she's used them, how she's tested them, different industries she used them on. She talks regularly about new features, new updates, so it's a really great way of staying current. And then The Art of Paid Traffic is another podcast that I listen to all the time. That one is by Rick Mulready. And he talks about how to advertise and how to scale. So this is honestly a form of Facebook advertising, and knowing that skill set of how to run Facebook ads with adding in the Facebook Messenger chatbot component is key. So I recommend these 2 podcasts. The other thing I started doing is I started following thought leaders. I added Molly on Facebook. I believe she has a fan page too. I don't know if she'd love everyone going and adding her personal account, but you can follow her fan page. Kim Garst is another great resource I started following. If you go to Kim Garst's website, you can just Google her name. She actually has a lot of online resources too, an online class. And then Andrew Demeter is a chatbot developer for ChatFuel. And I actually heard him speak at the Denver Startup Week, friended him as well, started listening and learning from him. So they're all great resources. The other thing too is as I was learning how to build these chatbots, I had a lot of questions, and even though I was following the thought leaders, I couldn't exactly reach out to them and ask them every other day, how do I do this? So I joined a couple Facebook groups. And what is great about those Facebook groups are that you can ask other people just as curious how to do something, and most likely someone else just figured it out and they want to share with you how they figured it out and help you learn it as well. So those are my self-taught resources and my communities and where I got the knowledge on how to build a chat. The next thing I did is I wanted to figure out, okay, I know how to do this. I have an idea. How do I put this into action? I need to develop a process for building these. I need to test it. And I guess the process and testing kind of goes back and forth. You're going to come up with a process. You're going to test it. You might learn from something from the test and then redevelop your process. And then you need to get hired. So how do you do this from scratch? No one's really going to hire you to build your first chatbot, right? So the next thing I did is I went to Social Media Day Denver, and I realized there that I was in a room full of opportunity. At the time, I was just someone in the crowd listening to the speakers, but I was at an event with speakers, and it's exactly how I saw it used as the conferences before. At the conferences before, again, it was selling tickets to event, it was helping with the event guides, and it also was being a resource for the day. So I asked one of the speakers, this is Anthony Pritchard, he's a YouTube marketing expert, if he would let me build a chatbot for him. He said yes, and there he is in San Francisco with his first chatbot running around, and he's putting these in front of his speaking sessions, which is great. It provides organic opt-ins. Again, this one is a free way of opting in. It provides the audience value as a speaker, and it helps you continue the conversation. Outside or after the event, you can communicate with your audience through the chatbot after people leave. And also, instead of people taking photos of the slides constantly, he then could send them out through Messenger. He may not have all of their emails, but now that they've opted into his Messenger, he can communicate with them. So after that, that was my first free chatbot. Mind you, again, I built that one for free within 4 months of learning about them. I want everyone here that's listening to think that they can go home and build a chatbot after this. I found myself being contracted with TEDx Mile High shortly after, and I found myself being paid to build a chatbot for an audience of 5,000 attendees. This was a huge milestone for me. How did I do this so quick? And it was really easy. It was just through this really simple process that I developed. So through the testing, through putting a strategy and structure together, what I did is I developed this 4-step process. It was first to strategize a chatbot. There are a lot of creatives that love jumping into the tool, just building a bot, writing it, programming it, figuring out how you can connect it. I'm a little different. I need a blueprint kind of before you build a house. So what I did is I went into Excel and I started to map out my strategy, how I wanted the chatbot to look. The next step was to develop the voice. Chatbots are a communicative marketing tool. So it's very important that you have proper voice and tone, and very important that you set up conversational funnels that add value to the conversation before you try to go in for the sale and get that mobile conversion. Next thing is you have to build it, and that's where those self-taught resources come in. So you'll go home, learn how to build it, play around in there, and then before you put your chatbot out to the public, whether it's to an event, whether you're testing it for real estate or for a gym, you want to make sure you're testing it, because if something's broken, people are going to see it and they're going to tell you. So make sure you test it. I'm going to show you a little bit of this process, and then I'm going to move over into how other people are using it. So this is exactly the framework that I use to build one of my chatbots for a social media day Denver. If you look to the left in the Excel sheet, you'll see a welcome message. That's the button that they're going to click. And the first message they get is wave, hi name, welcome, we're thrilled to have you joining us. And you can see how that correlates on the right in the actual messenger. So you can see how these two things start to work together with a structure, with mapping it out first. Under that, you're going to see these blue lines, learn about speakers, map of the event, schedule. Those are my buttons. You can see now on the right the buttons associated with the structural layout in the Excel sheet. I want to know what it's going to say each time I click on one of those buttons, so the responses then are written out below. And so if you were to click on learn about speakers on the right, a response would come up that says great, which speaker? And so on and so forth. That's how I start to strategize and structure out messaging or chatbots. There are a lot of components of chatbots. I could talk to you about all the different features for days, but this main one is the most important. Your welcome message is the first message people are going to see. It's the navigation. It's what's going to get them started within the bot, and what you want to provide here is the most valuable information possible that people will be seeking. If it's an event, are they going to want to learn about the speakers? Are they going to want the schedule? If it's a gym, are they going to want to learn about membership rates, classes? If it's a restaurant, are they going to want menus? Are they going to want to be able to reserve a table? So you're going to want to think about your top 3 most valuable assets or pieces of content that you can provide to someone within this conversational channel. And again, that is something to know. When you start out, you only have 3 options, so make sure it's the 3 most important. From there, after they click on it, you can add more buttons, but you're only going to ever have 3 options below the message. The next part of using a chatbot that is really important is the keyword tool. So chatbots are also used as a form of customer service. If you can successfully help someone through customer service, through answering questions, they're going to be more educated, informed. They're going to start to trust the bot a little bit, maybe feel like it's more human. And they're more likely, after for using it a while, going to convert into a sale. This also saves you as the business owner time because you're not there manually answering every single question that your customer has. If you can anticipate the questions that they have, you're going to speed up this conversation process and you're going to provide a lot of value. So an example that I have here for a keyword is for an event, this is again related to our event, is sitting or seating. So if someone asks, are you wondering how seating works? How does seating work? Where do I sit? You want to come up with different variations of the question, similar to kind of how SEO keywords work. How am I going to search something? Is there food being served? When is lunch? So find those keywords, make sure they're not too broad. Put together an ideal question, rephrase it a few different ways, and then you can program a response to this keyword. If it's complex, like seating, you can ask them a yes or no question. Are you wondering how seating works? Yes, no. If they say yes, it tells you how seating works. If they say no, then there's a response in there that says, okay, let me go get my human to help. And that's an indicator that I need to step in and manually respond to it. But if the bot can respond to it, that's great. That's part of the AI. It's really cool. Food, lunch, that one seemed pretty common, so I just put one answer in there. And then we had an after party at the conference. Is there an after party? We put a response in there. Why this is really great too is you can proofread this before you put it out to the public. A funny story is when I was building this chatbot for this social media day event that was just a couple weeks ago, I had sent this over to the curator to proofread. And for the after party, it reads bar opens at 4, which is how it's supposed to read. What I accidentally had wrote is open bar at 4, which is a completely different concept. So everyone at that conference about got free drinks on me, and I don't think the owner would have been very happy. So it's really good to always proof your language. When you are proposing these questions, you can also ask them at the end of the day, would you like to receive a follow-up message from us? This gives you permission to market to them. If they say yes, great, you now can push ticket sales and convert. If they say no, though, what do you say back? You don't want to like have that weird, okay, thanks, bye. So you want to be able to make your chatbot fun. Some fun things you can do with your chatbot, if someone says no, is you can put a funny GIF in it. So I put this funny GIF in here of Jim Carrey. So those are just a few components about how I got started, how I learned how to build them, and some of the main features. What I want to share with you next, outside of events, are how other types of businesses are using them. Here's an example of a restaurant. So one of the things they're offering right away is the menu. People always want to know what the menu. Then it asks, shall we continue with the table reservation? It's providing value, providing information, having a conversation, and then booking that table, which obviously means revenue. The correct term for this, and I don't know if it's been used yet in the conference, is conversational commerce. So you have to remember it's a conversation first before you sell. The next one is a webinar lead gen. So people are using these to create leads as well outside of just the direct conversion. There's an example here about when a webinar will start and they're giving the information out and then it says, would you like to participate? By clicking yes, that'll then opt someone in to participate in the webinar, which is then a form of a lead. And then that goes on to the business for the lead nurturing part. The next one also is real estate. What are you looking to do? This gave me the option of rent or buy. I clicked buy. That says, great, where is your property located? I clicked Denver. I'm live streaming here from Denver. It's beautiful out right now. It asks, how many bedrooms do you want? And you can just keep filling it out. While this is a conversation in the chatbot, this eliminates that lead gen form. I would much rather go into the chatbot and feel like I'm having a conversation, asking questions, then go to a landing page and have all these blanks where I have to type in my answer and it feels like I'm just filling out a form. So this eliminates the form process and makes it much easier to obtain user information throughout the conversational selling process. So how do you do this? There's a couple ways to get started with chatbots. I showed you guys earlier that all the resources to go into MiniChat and build one. It doesn't need to be that complicated. The first thing you should do, and the first thing I recommend to anyone that has a business page, is to simply go to your business page and go to your settings on the top right. That's all I did here on my screenshot. Once I clicked on settings, there's a messenger option on the left, second to the top. Within the messenger settings, these are on your Facebook business page. You can go in here and you can adjust just your basic page settings. If it's just you and you don't have a big chatbot set up, that's fine. You can put in your general settings, hi, thank you for the message. Someone typically replies within 24 to 48 hours. That's an instant reply to them, letting them know that they were heard and that you're going to be responding. There are a lot of different features in here, and I don't know if I'll have time to go through them all today, but I recommend going through this section and just setting up a basic welcome message before you go into setting up a huge chatbot. So these simple messenger features on your business page are a good starting point. The next thing to do is, if you're like, there's no way I can develop a chatbot, I don't have time, it's a little complex learning about it, is you can build templates. And there are a lot of people that provide chatbot templates. There's bot makers, Chatfuel has their own templates, MiniChat has their own templates, CollectChat, Botify. These people all on their website allow you to purchase a template. Usually they're no more than $100. If they're really complex, maybe $2. But as soon as you purchase it, they'll go in, they'll build it for you, and all you have to do is customize it. So if the learning process seems a little bit too hard, these are a resource for you to get a really advanced, really nice chatbot set up for you at a very low cost. If you are a developer or a reseller and you want to start building these for other people and you have clients, you still can purchase them. All you then have to do is purchase a license to them to use them on other clients that you have. So how do you go from no chatbot, 0 subscribers, to revenue? This was a huge question I had. I saw that Molly Pittman was making money off of it, selling tickets. I knew how to build them. I started building them. I started growing the opt-ins, and I was kind of worried about how to test them and get some money out of it, right? So these are the steps I went through. First, I built it. I figured out what type of bot I wanted. I went through building my own, and that was great. I have the knowledge now of how to build it. I'm not that quick though at it yet, so I also went through the template process to see how that was, and that was a great experience too. Once we had the chatbots built for a variety of different clients, for events, for gyms, for real estate, we wanted to grow the audience. The next thing you have to do is grow the audience. If you don't have an audience, you don't have anyone to market to. So there are the 2 forms of growing the audiences that I just talked about. There's the organic opt-in. So if you can put that code anywhere in your storefront, at an event, on a presentation, anywhere that you're public, that's a free organic opt-in. Those are great. Those don't cost you any money. The second type of opt-in, though, is the paid, and it's that paid Facebook advertising using the messenger destination, and there's another fun form of paid opt-in, and I'll show that to you guys next. It's called a comment drop. After you get those opt-ins and after you grow your audience really honestly doesn't need to be huge. I know everyone wants, a 20,000 email list, if not bigger. I marketed to an opt-in list of maybe only 1,500 people, and I'll show you those conversions, but I was able to convert about $8,000 in sales to an audience that small. But once you get all the opt-ins, you need to engage with the audience. You can't just go in for the kill and try to start selling something. You need to have those conversations. So those conversations like you saw in real estate, where are you located? What are you looking for? What do you want to purchase or buy? You need to give them feedback. This is what I found for you. Are you interested? Here's the menu. We have these times at our table for restaurants, and you want to give them insight. So you need to make sure the conversations are happening for a little while before you're ready to actually go sell. The next thing is when you broadcast. So those broadcasts or those soft selling points are when then you do reach out to your audience and you offer the product or service to them first. You can do this through selling tickets at a discount. You can do this through that conversational selling of, are you ready to buy a home? Are you ready to book a table? These are different features in ManyChat. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the broadcasting because it's something that I don't want to be misused. One of the biggest things, let me go back actually really quick, about the chatbots are how you approach the sale. Is it a conversational sale or is it a push? So broadcast is something that you can choose at any time to send out to someone, similar to text message marketing back in the day. So I'm going to show you guys that after I show you guys the ad setups. So when I was talking about organic opt-in or paid opt-ins, these are just a couple examples real quick. The organic opt-in, again, is that chatbot code. It's called a parametric code, and you can find that in your messenger settings of your Facebook business page. You simply go to the bottom and you click the little I for information, and it's under there. The next two that I was talking about, I wanted to give you examples. These are really cool. So there's a paid messenger destination type of ad that you set up. And here's an example of when I'm running for a gym. It says, join a community of like-minded people. More than a gym, we get people together to celebrate. Send us the message free to receive your free weekly certificate today. Notice that it says send us the message, and then the call to action button at the bottom, so this is set up similar to a web clicks type of ad, is send message. What happens is when someone clicks on that send message button, it'll pop up in the Facebook chatbot. When they type in the word free, that is a keyword trigger. So I showed you guys the keyword feature before. You program the keyword free to then put in the response that you want. And the response I have says, here's your free certificate, and it gives them the certificate. The next one is, going back to, they messaged you first, so that means they've opted in. So that's kind of a rule of thumb, is that they have to message you first to be opted in. The next one is a little different, so that's a comment drop. What does that mean? It's the same exact ad copy, except instead of send us a message, this one reads, leave the comment free to receive a free week certificate. So instead of going on the call to action button to pop open the messenger, people are just commenting on the post. So this is a form of engagement. So here I'm running an engagement campaign. And as soon as someone on the bottom comments with the word free, that auto pops and opens up the messenger and messages the person first. The only difference between these two is the send message is a direct message. The second they type in the word free, they're opted in. The comment drop is a little different because it'll auto pop a message to them first from you. They have to reply to that message to be opted in. So the trick to that is you need to ask them an easy to answer question to get them to opt in. And it's a two-step process. But why we still like the comment drop is because people are more likely to comment on a post and engage with it before they are to send the message. I have a much higher success rate with the comment drop ad campaigns than I do with the messenger destination. With the comment drop, an example of an easy to answer question then is it auto pops a message and it says, we're glad you're interested in participating in a free week at our gym. Would you like the certificate now? If so, type the word yes. People comment yes, they get the certificate, and the fact that all they had to type in was yes, that's easy to answer. They put it in, and now they're opted in because they messaged you first. So how do you build these? I'm a Facebook ad strategist, and these are really easy. All you have to do is go in to set up a Facebook ad campaign as a website clicks campaign. And on the ad level, you simply, well, first on the ad set level, this isn't shown. You just want to run this on Facebook. You don't want to run it on Instagram, so make sure your placement is Facebook only. But then on the ad level, you just put in your text, you put in your URL, you put in your headline, and I like putting in the headline, again, what the call to action is, send the word free, pointing at the send message button. And then the call to action is send message. And that is as simple as it gets. That's how you set up the messenger destination ad. So how the messenger leads work. I know I talked about this a little bit, but they have to message you first. So unless they message you first, they're not opted in as a subscriber. So you want to make sure you give them an easy way to message you. The second way the messenger leads work, once you have the leads in the system, is they work through broadcasting. So once you're broadcasting, you want to send push messages to your subscribers. There are 3 different forms of subscription broadcasting. And the first one is the message can't contain an ad or promotion if you're doing a subscription broadcast. But it can be sent at any time regardless of the time passed unless the last user is active. The promotional broadcast is messages can contain ads and promotional materials that can only be sent to subscribers who are active in the last 24 hours. So if you're talking to someone and you're doing a big push, a big ad campaign one day, make sure you're following up with them in the next 24 hours. This is really good for events. And then there's another one, after the end of a 24-hour window, you have the ability to send one follow-up message to these recipients. After that, you won't be able to send them one again. So you have these 3 different options for sending the broadcast to everyone that's opted in. When you go to send the broadcast, you have the option of sending it to all of your subscribers, or you have the option to sending it to select tagged subscribers. So when you start to get opt-ins, the example would be that gym is the gym we use the hook sign up for free week. So everyone that opted in through that gym, I'm going to tag them as free week. We have other hooks such as kettlebell classes, climb a mountain or a 14er in sunny Colorado. As these leads come in through ManyChat, I'm starting to tag them on what the hook was. So when I do go to send these subscription broadcasts, I'm sending a message that correlates to their interest. But you want to treat the conversation similar to text marketing. The big misconception with the chatbots and the leads that come in are they're treating these the same as email, and you can't treat a user on a chatbot the same as email. You're messaging them to their personal device. Their personal device is getting it similar to how they get a text message. And trust me, I don't want my emails coming in similar to texts, or else I'd be really annoyed throughout the day. So you want to make sure you're being very sparse with your conversation when you're broadcasting to them. Why it's so valuable to treat these correctly and why you need to know that they're different. Email open rates, pretty low. When you do send the broadcasts or when you're communicating with your audience via the chatbot, the open rates are anywhere between 80 and 90%. They're seeing these right away. And they're reading them right away, which is why this avenue of communication and sales is so valuable. So another question I get asked too when it comes to, I have all these leads, maybe I don't want to broadcast to them right away, not really to send a push message, but I do want to engage with them more, retarget them. How do I retarget my chatbot leads? There's a very simple way to do this. If you have a Facebook Business Manager set up, you can go into your audience settings and build a custom audience for anyone that's messaged your page. And this is a very simple 3-step process. You go to your custom audience, and you pick that you want to build a custom audience, and this is in the image to the left. At the very bottom, it says engagement, and you click on building a custom audience based off of engagement. The second step is then clicking on the Facebook page, off of the Facebook page. The next one, after you click on Facebook page, you're going to get create custom audience with a little bit more parameters. So in here it says include people who met any of the following criteria, select the page that you're working with, and then under here it says anyone that's engaged with your page. If you click down, you have a lot more options. You want to select the option that says people who sent a message to your page. If you click that, you now can retarget anyone that sent a message to your page. And then you also get to click the day number of parameters. So last 365 days, that might be a long window. You might want to put 180. You might just want to put 30. So make sure you're picking your time frame correctly as well. But this is another great way of continuing to provide value, put awareness in, and get in front of your audience some more before you're ready to push sales to them or try and convert your product or service. So how do you ask for the sale once you're ready? This is an example of a sale campaign that I pushed out really not that long ago. I think it was just in March of this year. What we did is we had converted many organic opt-ins. So we used that chatbot board at our event at TEDx Mile High. Through there, I think we got about 500 or 600 organic opt-ins at the event. It's really good numbers. After that, we ran an ad campaign for lead gen for the messenger bot. I think we only obtained about 1,000 more leads through that ad campaign at a very low cost. I think it was about $3 cost per lead. So I had a chatbot audience of maybe around 1,500 people I was going to send this message to. Throughout the spring, we had provided them information, letting them know that we had speakers we just signed up, who was talking at the event, and then we told them if they wanted a discounted ticket to our next event, we would provide it to our chatbot audience first. So we pushed all of our traffic into the chatbot opposed to anywhere else. And then once tickets I think went on sale on Tuesday to the general public, the Friday before we sent our audience this message. We're excited that you're interested in attending our next event. This is when it will take place. You can save $20 on general ticket prices. You want to be notified. I clicked yes, notify me. This is part of the lead gen. Said please provide us with your email if you'd like us to send it to your inbox. So right here, this is actually something that is a form of a double opt-in. And I didn't mean to throw this in here and get too technical, but one, I'm opted into the chatbot so they can message me. Two, you can pull emails out of the chatbot. Some people do, they would rather be emailed than get the message on their phone. So we asked if we could also have their email. There's a simple feature within MiniChat that says user data input, and all you click is email, and it'll extract their email from their Facebook login. Why that is so valuable is a lot of people put false emails on landing pages or emails they don't use a lot. Extracting the email from their Facebook login is extremely valuable because that usually is an active email. So this is how we asked people if they wanted the ticket, and then on the right was when we went in on that Friday to go push ticket sales. So this is a follow-up message I said after they opted in. Happy Friday, Carrie. We just wanted to pop in here to let you know pre-sale for our December event just went live. You can save $20 now. Here's the regular ticket price. We can't wait to see you in December. If you click the buy ticket button, that sends you to the ticket sales link. And I think from barely spending $1,000 on lead gen total, we were able to convert $8,000 in ticket sales. So that's how you use the chatbot to go from 0 subscribers to many, and how you turn those subscribers then into revenue and to real life sales through a form of conversational selling or conversational commerce. And that's all that I have for you today. I know we started a little early, so that leaves us some extra time at the end for questions, Q&A. I want to go back over.
Thank you, Carrie, for giving us such a notable information on how Facebook chatbots have personalized marketing and increased mobile conversation rates. we have got some questions from our participants and attendees like hello Carrie, how can FB chatbot assist your marketing?
So overall, they're going to assist your marketing efforts by producing a way of conversational selling. You're not really going to use the bot to market. You're not going to push that marketing information. What you're going to do is you're going to provide them information, though, about your product or service. So you're going to be more informative in the chatbot than you are going to be marketing message driven. So an example I like is using the gym. When you get into a gym chatbot, it says, do you want to learn about our classes? Do you want to learn about our staff? Do you want to learn about our health program? What you're doing is you're providing a lot of valuable data, you're providing information, you're helping them understand your product and service, and you're warming them up then to being able to...
Thank you so much for that. And one more question was like how to create Facebook bot for business.
That's a great question. So I don't know if everyone gets a copy of these slides or not, but that slide that I provided on the self-taught resources, that's how you start to learn how to create a bot for business. I really do recommend going to Molly Pittman's ManyChat Mastery class and learning how to build one yourself. And again, if you're not ready to build one yourself, and if it just seems a little too intimidating, that's fine. You should go then to that slide that I have with the template resources. ManyChat has their own template resources. Chatfield has their own template resources. I've purchased templates from bot makers. You can go in there and just find a template that fits your industry. What I love about the templates are that they're very segmented out. So it will ask you, what is your business? Is your business real estate? Is your business trying to get webinar leads? Are you in education? Are you in health and fitness? Are you in retail or e-com? You can go in there and find the perfect template to fit your business, and all you have to do is customize it. So that's an easy workaround to opposed to building one yourself.
Thank you, Carrie. And we have gotten Javier. Yeah, like he says, like wow, it was informative. Thank you. How long does it take to learn how to create and develop chatbots? Like actually, he's our person who's actually deaf. So he is asking you to just give your response by putting it in words in the chat.
Great, yeah, I'll type it in too, and I'm going to share that with everyone else as well. It took me maybe about 80 hours, and that was just toying around with it. I also trained someone, and it literally took me one-on-one 30 minutes to teach someone on a one-on-one setting. So it depends what resources you have. So I'm going to share with her that information. But that kind of is all it is. It just depends on how curious you are. Some people get in there and get stuck, get frustrated. Some people like the challenge, and once you figure something out, it's so rewarding that you just want to figure out the next thing. So it really depends, on how excited you are to learn this role. But I'm going to text her real quick and respond to her. I don't believe so. I think it's just another component that you add that just is another option for people on how they like to communicate. When I do run lead gen campaigns, I usually mirror them with email because not everyone has Facebook Messenger. Not everyone wants to use Facebook Messenger. I learned a lot from just watching people scan the chatbot at the events. There were many people that would come up and be like, oh, I don't use that, I don't trust it, I don't want to use Facebook Messenger. So again, it just is another comfort option. If people prefer email, they prefer email. If if you're using another form, it's part of the omni-touch presence of marketing. You want it in there to assist and complement everything else. And it is part of social media. People are choosing how they're consuming their content, and this is just a new avenue of how people are choosing to consume their content.
Yeah, one more question from Kurt, like how Facebook chatbooks can revolutionize your social media strategy.
I love that. That's awesome. It really is a revolution. It's something new. I mean, get in on it now. Not everyone's using it. A few people have it figured out. And everyone that has it figured out is just accelerating and taking off with it. It is eliminating the form field. People are tired of lead gen pages. They're tired of saying, hi, here's my name, here's my email, check this box, I'll give you this information. What I really love about it is, like that real estate example, is you're now having a conversation opposed to filling out a form. People are so used to filling out forms and they're so tired of it that if they feel like they're going to converse one-on-one with you and talk to you, they're more willing to share more information with you. And as a marketer, the more information you have, the easier it is to market or have that conversation or assist your potential customer in the end. So I really feel that it is a component that needs to be added to a social media strategy. And again, go to those podcasts, listen to those resources, listen to how other people are using it. Everyone right now is coming up with new ideas, so there's no end to these new ideas. It's really exciting. Is there any voice-based chatbot setup? That's a really good question, Norm. Not that I know of just yet. I don't know if they've integrated a talk-to-text to it or a talk-to-answer questions. I know with all of the home devices and all of the Amazon devices, everyone can talk to order something. That I don't believe has been integrated yet. Facebook uses the Wit AI developers tool or technology, and this is only their second year in it. So what I recommend for you, Norm, is to sign up for the Facebook developers email update and follow that, and that is most likely where you're going to see it first announced, so that when it is announced, you can take advantage of it. What else is coming in? I see a message from Daryl. Can I use chatbots to completely do all my business activity from lead gen to true sale? Can I automate everything? It's a great question. You can set up different flows. You can set up, if someone clicks on this, we're going to send them into this lead nurturing flow. If someone types in this keyword, we're going to send them down this channel. But again, it is a new form of AI. And what I keep telling people is the chatbot is only going to be as smart as the person that built it. So you need to be able to anticipate all questions and be able to answer all questions. And right now, that's just extremely hard. So it's a constant learning process as a business owner. You're going to set it up, and you're going to think you were able to answer every single question. And then you might get hit with something out of the ballpark that you never expected someone, to ask you. But it's a constant learning process. So once you get hit with that random question that wasn't programmed, you just go in and program it and add to it. So as you learn, the bot learns, and you can train the bot to be as smart as you as long as you keep programming it.
Yeah, one more question is like,
which tools? I recommend either MiniChat or Chatbot.
yeah, please.
They're an easy method. I can create my own chatbot management tool. So both of these, which tools? If you're doing it from scratch, I definitely recommend MiniChat or Chatfuel. I recommend taking a look at both. People have different preferences. They're similar, but they're still slightly different within how they're set up. I personally use MiniChat because I like the flow system. It's just how my mind works, how I see things programmed out. But Chatfuel also has a very simple setup method too, where it gives you the options right underneath. So depending on your preference, it's kind of like the Hootsuite versus Buffer thing when those automated tools were coming out. Look at both, experiment with both, and see which one makes the most sense to you, and use whichever one you find most user-friendly. They both have online learning platforms, so you'll go in, poke around the tool, and then go to the online learning platform and be self-taught. And I recommend, even if you still want to go to the template option, do some self-teaching, because the self-teaching will help you learn how to customize them, even if you're not going to build a giant chatbot. What is the best Facebook chatbot available on the market? Michael, good question. I don't know if I've found one that I've been like, this client has the absolute best chatbot. There are so many out there. When it comes to it, I go back to the tools. The best two tools you can use to discover the chatbots would be ManyChat or Chatfuel. Simple answer for there. I hope that helped. It's a really broad question, and I don't have a favorite one out there just yet. Zach, which Facebook chatbot would you recommend? I've used Mobile Monkey. I felt it's tough to use. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciated having the opportunity to share everything I've been doing with chatbots, and I hope everyone found it really valuable. I hope
Yeah, Carrie. Thanks a lot, and
go home.
would like to see you again for next Global Marketing Summit. So thanks for spending your valuable time with us.